Hey, aspiring author, can I ask you a question? How much time do you think you've wasted looking for notes, searching through journals, digging through your phone, looking in your email, trying to remember where you wrote down that brilliant idea for chapter 3 of your book? We've all been there, and before you know it, you've spent more time looking for your notes than actually writing your book. In today's episode, I want to give you 4 simple book writing tips to help you get organized so you can spend less time searching and more time writing. Ready to write your first book and make an impact? Do you wish you could organize your book ideas without feeling overwhelmed and actually find the time to write and finish your book? Hey, I'm Donna Cherie, a book writing coach and author. Welcome to Book Writing Made Simple. Inside this podcast, I'll teach you how to get a clear vision for your book idea, get organized, keep it simple, and develop a writing plan so you can finally get your book out into the world. Grab a notebook and pen with your favorite cup of tea. Hey, aspiring author, welcome back to Book Writing Made Simple. I'm your host, Donna Cherie, publisher, book writing coach, and author. If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you've been here for a while, welcome back. Thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to the show. A quick fun fact is that this podcast is now streaming in over 100 countries across the globe. Oh my goodness, all I can say is glory be to God, and thank you to all of you who press play, who subscribe, who listen, who have been listening to the show and learning more about book writing. I pray that this show continues to bless you, that it continues to help you write your book. I know some of you are looking for motivation to start writing, to continue writing. You're looking to find out how to structure your book, to how to publish. So keep listening, keep tuning in, keep pressing play, and make sure that you take some notes too, if you're able, while you're listening, so that you can go back and apply what I'm sharing on the show to write your book. Because I'm telling you, if you do that, you will get to the finish line and have a finished book in your hands. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe or follow the show so that you can keep getting content about book writing. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to share one of my favorite free resources that I have for you, which is my Plan Your Book with Clarity book outline template. If you're sitting there with notes everywhere, ideas all over the place, and you're wondering how to organize everything into a book that actually makes sense, this template will help you do exactly that. It's the exact book outline template I personally use to write books, as well as provide to writers that I coach. So you can download it through the link provided in the show notes and get your book outline template to help you on your book writing journey. Organization may not sound exciting, but you know what's exciting? Actually knowing what chapter you're writing, knowing where your notes are, knowing exactly what's coming next every time you sit down to write at your computer. Disorganization creates overwhelm, and overwhelm leads to what? Procrastination. And procrastination leads to an unfinished manuscript. And that is not our goal. The more organized you become, the easier it is to stay consistent with your writing. Today, I want to help you simplify your writing process with 4 practical tips that have helped me and even others that I coach with their writing process. One thing I've noticed while coaching aspiring authors is that many people know what they want to write about, but they don't know how to get organized. They don't know how to form their content in a way in which it makes sense and flows. They have ideas written all over the place in 3 different notebooks, if not more, multiple documents, voice notes on their phone, sticky notes on their desk, ideas written on a whiteboard that can get erased accidentally if they smudge or rub against it, and a few paragraphs typed in a file. Then, when it's finally time to sit down and write, they spend half of their writing session trying to find everything. I don't want that for you. Writing a book is already a big assignment. Let's not make it harder by creating unnecessary confusion and those feelings of overwhelm. A little organization on the front end can save you hours of frustration later. So let's get organized. So, the 4 tips I have for you today to help you simplify your writing process. Number 1 is to gather all your notes together and put them in one place so you don't have to go searching for them every time you have an urge to write. Try to use the same journal instead of a different one every single time, as this can create confusion and overwhelm. And this is what we want to avoid throughout the book writing journey. So before you sit down to write, gather all your notes together, bring them into one place so that you can stop searching and guessing. Where is your next idea, or where did you put that thought you had for the chapter that you're working on? The second tip, and this is definitely a biggie, create a single document that will house your manuscript. I recommend using Google Docs or Microsoft Word. This helps to keep up with your word count. It also helps you to lay out your chapters, and it will serve as a big help once you get to the editing phase. If you have to send your document to an editor, which you definitely should, or to a reviewer or somebody who's proofreading your book, you definitely want to make sure that you have it in one document, not all over the place. And this will also help you to stay on track. So if you don't have Microsoft Word, you can use Google Docs or something similar to that and keep everything there. The third tip is to develop a book vision plan, the BVP. Don't try to start writing from scratch. Find out who your ideal reader is and what your main message. What is it that you want to share with your ideal reader? Why are you writing this book, and who are you writing it for? You need to determine that. And if you are in the writing process and you still feel like you don't know who your ideal reader is, stop and go back and figure out your book vision plan so that you can speak directly to your ideal reader, so that you can speak their language, so that you can hone in on what problems they have so that you're able to solve it, or what information you want to share about your own personal journey of transformation that could also help them. Having a book vision plan will help you to then create your outline. And here on this show, I always say that your outline is your bullseye, and your book vision plan, or as I call it, your BVP, and your book outline, they go hand in hand. I believe that you need to have both so that you can stay on track all throughout the book writing process. Once you have a clear book vision plan, it'll be a lot easier for you to draft your outline. These 2 components work together to make the book writing process simple. So, to recap, the 4 simple ways to become more organized as you write your book. Number 1 is to gather all your notes in one place. Number 2 is to create one document for your manuscript. 3, develop a clear book vision plan. And 4, use that vision plan to build a simple outline. You don't need a complicated book writing system. You just need one that works with simplicity and definitely with organization. The more organized you become, the less overwhelmed you'll feel, and the easier it'll be to sit down and actually write. So I hope that these tips have helped you today. If this episode made you realize that your biggest struggle isn't writing, it's getting organized. Of course, I have something that can help you. That's the free Plan Your Book with Clarity book outline template that's linked in the show notes. You can find that there. And of course, inside, you'll be able to organize your ideas in one place, map out your chapters, clarify your message, identify your ideal reader, and create a simple direction for your writing process. Remember, writing your book doesn't have to be complicated. Hence this show. Sometimes all it takes is a simple plan and a little organization to build the momentum that you've been looking for. So if you need assistance, definitely reach out. I'm here to help you. There's also other resources available in the show notes that you have access to. Until next time, ciao. Thanks for tuning in. I hope today's episode inspired you to take that next step to write your book. Remember, small steps lead to big results. If this podcast has blessed you in some way, be sure to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. Your support means the world to me, and it helps others to find the show. Also, be sure to pass on the inspiration by sharing this episode with a friend who could benefit from this message. God bless you, sis, and never, ever give up.